So you have these 8 historical facts that say that Jesus rose from the dead. But there are other things that happened as well that historians look at. There's like 4 other facts from history that are unexplained except for the resurrection of Jesus Christ. One of them is all of a sudden this thing called the church pops into existence all across the Roman Empire. And what do historians say?
They trace the origins of the church back to Jerusalem around 30 AD or so, and it was initially all from a Jewish background. What took Judaism that had been there for centuries, millennia, and suddenly a subsection out of that becomes this church where Jesus is absolutely central and then spreads rapidly throughout. What happened around that time? Another evidence for the resurrection. And then when we look at the practices of the church, there are 3 more evidences that we find.
Right.
One was worship was changed to Sunday.
Yeah.
Jewish worship was on a Saturday in the
That's right.
synagogue. Why did they start worshiping on Sunday? That would have been a massive change for them.
Thousands of years they've been worshiping on Saturday.
Because the first day of the week was the Lord's Day when Jesus rose from the dead. And so they gathered together for worship to commemorate the day he rose again from the dead. And then baptism.
Right.
Where people who became followers of Jesus would go through a ritual called baptism where they would be immersed in the water and then come out of the water. Why would they do that? Because of what it signified. That when they believed in Jesus, they were united with Christ in his death and they were united with Christ in his resurrection.
Right.
Baptism would be meaningless to explain apart from that. And then when they met together once a week, they would have communion.
Right.
And the elements of the communion were things that represented the body of Jesus and the blood of Jesus, which is his death. Now, who would celebrate the death of their leader? I mean, nobody they mourn, like Mahatma Gandhi was greatly revered in India, and they write songs that lament his death. So sad, it was a heartbreaking day that he died. Why would somebody be worshiping and celebrating through a new ritual the day their founder died? If it weren't for the fact that he didn't remain dead, he rose again from the dead as well.
He said, do this until I come.
Right. So I think these are some of the further evidences for the resurrection of Jesus.